Hello, I'm curious. Would it be okay if you had both financial and time freedom? See if you can relate to this story. Remember back in the 20th century when people were told to go to school and make good grades, then go to college, graduate and get a good job with benefits and a pension plan? Well, I'm sure you've heard of that old 40-40-40 plan. Work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what wasn't enough in the first place. Today we call that plan the rat race. Well, here's what happens to most people. Basically, around the age of 18 to 20, they begin working a job. Work for a few months, then you get your first raise. Work for a few more months, and you get your second raise. Work a little bit longer, that's right, another raise. And eventually you'll peak out. At this point, you've reached the top of the pay scale and maxed out in salary increases. Now, if you're one of the lucky ones, they'll give you a promotion with another raise and a lot more responsibilities. But at some point, your net worth will start to decline. Why? Because of taxes and inflation. They continue to rise. So now your net worth is headed in the wrong direction, down. And how do most people try to fix it? By either getting a second job, which means even less time to enjoy the things you really love to do, or by going back to school for another degree, which costs even more money. According to the Social Security Office of Research and Statistics, for every 100 people by the time they reach the age of 65, one person is rich, 4 are financially independent, 17 are still working, 16 are deceased, and the remaining 62 are broke and dependent on someone else for survival. Now think about that for a moment. Only 5% of the people in the richest country in the world are actually financially independent, and the other 95% are either deceased or broke. Well, have you heard of the Kiyosaki cash flow quadrant? In 1999, financial management guru Robert Kiyosaki did a study that breaks all people into one of 4 categories based on their financial intelligence. The B's, business owners like Microsoft's Bill Gates. The I's, investors like Berkshire Hathaway's Warren Buffett. The S's, self-employed or specialists such as doctors and lawyers. And then there's the E's, the employees. Now, what's so interesting about this study is that Mr. Kiyosaki discovered that business owners and investors end up here in the 5% group. Because business owners have people that help them make money, and investors use their own money to make them even more money. And not to mention, they both have huge tax benefits. The self-employed specialists and employees end up here in the 95% group because their income is 100% dependent on their efforts only. Being a business owner gives you tax advantages that employees do not have. Employees are paying 30 to 35% in taxes each year, while business owners typically pay around 15 to 20%. This means you get to put a lot more of your money back into your pocket and not Uncle Sam's. Well, let's take a look at the business of the 21st century, direct marketing. You can start a direct marketing business that requires very little financial risk, work it part-time, 5 to 10 hours a week, and in 2 to 3 years possibly double your current income with very little financial risk involved. Just the tax advantages alone offer you an immediate financial benefit when you start your own direct marketing business. Now that sounds better than getting a second job or going back to school. Take a look at the earnings of these very popular high-powered industries in comparison to our direct marketing industry. Wow. And get this, the Oracle of Omaha himself, Mr. Warren Buffett, owner of 3 direct marketing companies, is quoted as saying, "The best investment Berkshire Hathaway has ever made." Consider the possibilities and imagine how your life could look in the next 2 to 3 years because you made a decision to start building your own direct marketing business. Remember this, people who know how will always have a job, and people who know why will always employ them. There will always be 2 groups of people, those who wish they had and those who are glad they did. Embrace the glad they did group, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world.